In October 1963, the experimental hydrofoil ship Denison prepares to leave Newport, Rhode Island. The Denison is the first high-speed ocean-going hydrofoil, a joint project of the United States Maritime Administration and Grumman Aircraft Engineering Corporation. Her length is 104 feet at the waterline, her beam 23 feet. She displaces 80 tons. She will head for the area near Buzzard's Light Tower in the Atlantic, where she will undergo rough water trials. During hull-borne operations, 2 water jets from Indiana Gear propelled the Denison at speeds up to 11 knots. An auxiliary General Electric gas turbine located in the hull powers the jets. Steering is done by changing direction of the water jets. The Denison starts to lower her surface-piercing hydrofoils. Made of alloy steel, the 2 main foils weigh 5.5 tons each, and at high speed support 85% of the ship's gross tonnage. The all-movable submerged tail foil supports the remaining weight. The supercavitating 40-inch titanium propeller is driven by the main engine, a 14,000 continuous horsepower General Electric gas turbine, which is housed in the aft superstructure. During these trials, the Denison will use approximately 8,000 horsepower. A General Electric Z drive comprised of hollow shafts and 2 spiral bevel gearboxes transmits power to the prop. With her foils down, cruising hull-borne through the harbor, the Denison draws 15 feet. The captain opens the throttle and takeoff begins. The bow rises as speed and lift increase. At 28 knots, the HS Denison is foil-borne and rapidly accelerates to 60 knots. The propeller is turning at 2,800 revolutions per minute. The keel rises 10 feet to a point 5 feet above the smooth waterline on the wing-like hydrofoils. The ship now draws 6 feet. The Denison is made of Alcoa lightweight aluminum alloy and combines aircraft and shipbuilding techniques. The aircraft influence extends even to the pilot house. Captain and first officer sit side by side among panels of electronic controls and test instruments. Instead of working in an engine room below deck, the engineer monitors a panel of instruments in the pilot house. The ship bears down on Buzzard's Tower. The trial will be recorded by cameras on the tower and by cameras mounted on the Denison and in a helicopter. A government-maintained wave gauge located on the tower will record sea state information. Wave heights referred to are the significant wave heights, or the 1/3 largest waves. The companion vessel is a 95-foot United States Coast Guard cutter, an excellent rough water craft of conventional design, displacing 90 tons. At an average of 16 knots, it plows into a head sea 4 to 6 feet high. The Denison's design requirements specify that she operate easily in 5-foot seas. The hull of the hydrofoil is hardly touched by the waves as it passes by at 55 knots. After a 360-degree turn on a 400-yard radius, the hydrofoil comes in for a landing. Even when lying to in a beam sea, the Denison is a stable platform. At idling speed, the foils steady the ship and minimize roll. Upwind takeoff and acceleration to full speed is accomplished in approximately 45 seconds with a run of 150 yards. Downwind takeoff would require a slightly longer run. The cutter surfs and yaws in a following sea, while the Denison is relatively unaffected. In the following sea, the hydrofoil's Hamilton Standard Electronic Stability Augmentation System is particularly useful. This system actuates the foil flaps and alters the tail incidence continuously and automatically according to changes in sea conditions and ship speed. Despite its high speed, the Denison has superior maneuverability. On another day, the Denison skims over rougher seas with significant wave trains 7 to 8 feet high. The hydrofoil performs easily in seas that are nearly double her design requirements. Maneuverability is maintained in the rougher water. The higher waves do not appreciably affect the Denison in landing or takeoff. The hydrofoil rides comfortably in a beam sea. These are mostly short waves, like those found over the continental shelf. The Denison has successfully negotiated the longer 10-foot waves found farther out at sea. Operations in seas up to 8 feet surpass design requirements. The experimental hydrofoil ship Denison opens a new dimension in ocean-going transportation.